All right. What are you looking for in spirituality? Why are you searching out spiritual videos? Why are you searching out spiritual gurus? Why are you going outside the bounds of what is considered common? Why are you watching this video? These are good questions to ask yourself. I have my own personal experience, including my own personal opinions, are that the vast majority of spiritual teachers are either just like everyone else, anywhere from a spectrum of not knowing and lost and doing the best they can, to the other side of the spectrum, totally aware of what they're doing and narcissistic, sociopathic, demon possessed. And most of them actually fall to the side of demon possessed, in addition to knowing exactly what they're doing. But of course, masquerading as an enlightened guru or someone that you would consider to be godlike or whatever. Not very many are there in existence that I'm aware of that would be considered close to God or close to the similitude of what you think, or not what you think, of what is reflective of the true creator of all things. I think there's a lot of demon-possessed people in spiritual circles. So I'm only speaking to the people who are unaware of what's going on. I'm not speaking to the people that are aware. I've spoken to plenty of them so far, and a lot of them that are demon-possessed almost never divulge what their intentions are. I've spent some time with certain people. I have spent as much as 3, 4, 5 years, only because of my tenacity, constantly questioning, grilling, if you will, or because I consider all people my friend, regardless of what their affiliation is. And it sometimes, after 4 or 5 years of, communicating with each other one-on-one in person and stuff, they finally divulge to me and say, "John, I can't believe you are so damn dense. Don't you know I'm messing with you? I have no intention of promoting enlightenment or spirituality or whatever. This is something I do because I'm an atheist, or because I like evil, or whatever the case it is." I've actually had people tell me that because of their exasperation with my denseness, because after communicating with them so long and constantly asking, "I don't get it. Why are you acting this way? Why do you teach this when that's not the truth and everything?" And then they finally break down because of their exasperation. I don't actually know why, but they eventually tell me the truth. And then I go, "Oh, okay. Well, now it finally makes sense to me." Well, most people are not going to be like me. You're not like me. be my guest. I've never met anyone like me in this world that is so unafraid to confront the devil himself. I mean, I'm a retired firefighter. It was fun to run into buildings that might collapse and people would die, car wreck, whatever. I mean, to me, that was fun. It was not something that I had fear of. I know that demons exist. I know that evil exists, and it's incredibly prevalent. Now, most of the demon-possessed people, if we were in a group, a Sangha group or something like that, they would condemn me and belittle me and say how foolish I am and that I'm delusional because I believe in demons and the devil and all this kind of stuff. But they know that is real, but they present it that way in the public arena to solidify their power that they have over the congregation, if you will, or the group of people, by belittling me for my crackpot beliefs, so to say. But, you know, think about all the people in the group. You know, some of them believe in chakras, and some may be practicing witchcraft, and, you know, and divination of this, that, or whatever. There's such a spectrum of what people believe in, and yet they balk at talking about, or balk at someone like myself that says, no, there's actually demon-possessed people, and they're quite common in this realm of existence. But for some reason, in the spiritual group, they like to, non-duality, for instance, the teaching there. People don't understand that the concept of non-duality is a demonic teaching, because it disallows the dark side to have any threat. Now, I'm of the opinion you should never have a threat of anything, or fear, let's put it that way. But when you're taught that the dark side doesn't exist, that allows the dark side to exist and to keep functioning powerfully. Now, it may not have any effect on you personally, but directly, but it is having an effect on you, because globally, people are adversely affected by demonic teachings and powers and stuff like that. And when you are taught to put your head in the sand and be ignorant of the existence of that demonic darkness, you're allowing them to operate in plain sight without identifying that they actually exist. A lot of spiritual teachers are demonically possessed. So, how is it that if you are a genuinely spiritual seeking person and you genuinely want to just follow a straight path, if you will, to being one with God or love or whatever? Well, actually it's fairly simple. Jesus pointed it out crystal clear, saying, love yourself, love God, and love your neighbor. My wife pointed it out to me the other day, because I was asking her, how would I communicate this sort of thing to people? And she told me, well, just tell them what you do. And I go, well, what do you mean? And she says, tell them to pray. Most spiritual seeking people that are into the Eastern philosophy of enlightenment and that sort of thing, have no belief, or if you will, of the power of prayer. But in reality, the power of prayer is the only path that is going to get you over some stumbling blocks. So you may hit a dead end in your life, and it's going to stay a dead end until you die of old age. The only way over that dead end is to humble yourself and pray to God. And that's the only way. So I think one of my points that I'm trying to make here is that don't worry about having fear or this or that or whatever. Understand, listen to your heart or your intuition, and follow that path regardless of where it leads you. And I would say so much so as having zero fear, because that path might lead you to becoming a demon. It might lead you to becoming one with Satan. It might, but if that's where it leads you and that's where you want to go, then follow that. But that's the only way you're going to become spiritually enlightened. People keep saying, look inside, you know, that, and these are demonic teachers that keep telling you this. But, you know, think about Buddha, for instance, sitting under the tree for who knows how long, and determining, I'm just going to stay here until I die if I don't become enlightened. Well, regardless of what they teach you, he was not looking inside. He'd been looking inside for 10 years or more and never found what he was looking for. And then miraculously, as they teach miraculously, I'm saying that tongue in cheek, miraculously, he became enlightened while sitting under a tree. Well, I say that jokingly, because it wasn't a miracle. What took place was, for the first time in his life, he got over that stumbling block. He looked outside of himself to get what he did not have currently. He did not have that. Of course, that's not what's taught. Of course, that's not what it's taught. But that's the truth. So follow your heart and your spirit. And if you're in a group with a guru or whatever spiritual teacher, and you feel something is not right, whatever it is, I mean, the guru has to be squeaky clean. I mean, like, there can't be anything unrepented, so to say. There cannot be, I mean, it has to be as they teach about Jesus. They say, oh, he was the Son of God, he was perfect, he was sinless, he was blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. That is what you must, if you're going to follow some physical being or person, it has to be of that caliber. Anything less than that is not going to get you the full distance of what you want to go. And then you're on your own. And there's nothing wrong with being on your own, but recognize at some point you're going to have to abandon your spiritual teacher or your guru if you discover that he's or her isn't perfect. And when I say perfect, perfect in your estimation, in what you perceive as being godlike. Now, the problem with that is you need to question that individual, and you need to question that individual incessantly. If it takes 5 years of questioning that individual for you to be satisfied, that's what you have to do. There is zero possibility that you are going to find a spiritual teacher that is like Christ by just assuming and not asking the difficult questions. That's never going to happen. It is an absolute necessity that you ask the difficult questions, because you're going to have to do that to God, essentially. You're going to have to do that. You're not going to waltz right into spiritual enlightenment. It is never going to happen accidentally. It never has happened, and it never will happen. But you have to question. And when I say that is, eventually you're going to discover the trueness of the teacher that is teaching you. You're going to find out if they're actually hateful. You're going to find out if they're actually ignorant. You're going to find out if they are actually your true friend. And that is the only way to find out, is to test, 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 test. I've talked about this reality as a test that God created for us to prove what we are. Well, you have to do the exact same thing to the spiritual leaders. That's why people that are highly spiritually advanced and maybe not affiliated with anything, at one time in their life they were affiliated, and at one time in their life they were on a single path, and then they switched because they continually not only asked but demanded answers to their questions. So you're going to have to do that if you want to find the truth or the true path to enlightenment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.